What's up, internet? How's it going? Welcome back to the stream. We are... Oh, let me switch. Hi! Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. Happy Saturday. Welcome back! I definitely took yesterday off. Because doing 2 weeks of streams for Endwalker was kind of tiring. But my work vacation's over, so now we are back to our regularly scheduled shenanigans. Yeah, starting with this. It's our Ace Attorney night for the foreseeable future. I can't wait to get back. I do have more thoughts. I do have some thoughts about Endwalker and how all of that went. But I will save that for the next Final Fantasy stream, which will probably be tomorrow. I believe we're not raiding tomorrow because there are people who will be on vacation. Multiple people. And because, you know, it's the weekend before Christmas, people got shit to do. So, I don't think we're raiding tomorrow, but I might still do something in FF anyway. We still got to do the post-game stuff, so that'll be a good time to kind of talk about that. But in any case, today, let us focus on today. We're back into Ace Attorney Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. So, we are playing as Edgeworth, if you didn't catch last week's stream. And we're basically doing just the investigation part, not the whole courtroom drama, because Edgeworth is smart and will solve the case right then and there. Because he has the cooperation of the police, so he just, you know, gonna figure everything out on the spot. And we get to pick the brain and get into the mind of Edgeworth, so, yeah, that's a thing. It's a thing that we're doing. Hey, 21 Sticks, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, yes, it's fun so far. We've only done one chapter. We only did the one chapter last week, and we might only do one chapter this week, assuming it's not too super long. Otherwise, we might do part of it this week and then part of it next week. I gotta be off by around like 10 o'clock because I've got a late night delivery coming from Amazon that I need to. Is coming in a 2-hour window, so I need to be off by 10. So we got a little under 4 hours. I think that'll be enough to kind of get some good progress in here. Yeah. So with that being said, let's stop the musics and then let's get started. Oh, hold on. I don't think this is quite where we left off. To title. Yeah, return the title without saving. Let's go load the proper save that I made. Continue. There we go. That's the one. Episode 2. Turnabout Airlines. I see we got Francisca back. That'll be cool. I love her. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day, 2 days ago. 2 days earlier? Uh-oh, flashback time. You having nightmares, Edgeworth? Oh, that's wine. Why are we spilling wine? It's always good wine. Was there a crime on the airplane? Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air, to be precise. Thank you for flying iFly Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. This is auto-scrolling, by the way. Don't waste the wine! March 12th, 6:13 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Okay. Now I can talk. So quick summary. Oh, let's see. Like the way you pronounce Yatagarasu. Yeah, Edgeworth would totally say it like that. Yatagarasu. So, quick recap. Edgeworth was overseas, came back to his office, someone did a murder in his office, and someone stole files, and we're like, that's weird. They're not files related to anything that Edgeworth was working on. They're files that were belonging to the previous owner of that office, because I guess he still had to, manage them. So I'm sure that's going to come into play later. But I guess while he was up in the air, there was also another crime, so that's fun. Alright, let's see what kind of nonsense we get into now. There. I love the sprites again, by the way. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Ha, slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. Suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. Though admittedly, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. Fair? What'd you drop there? What's this? Travel wallet. But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? My head. Why won't this headache go away? Do you have amnesia, short term? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. Oh, trauma! Great! Exactly what we need right now. What am I doing, hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? Yo, trauma is hard to get over, Edgeworth. I don't blame you. Nobody blames you. It's fine. It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. Oh, that's a dead man. What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your Eek! He's dead! Please calm down. You mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! How does he manage to look badass in every situation? That's a very good question. It must be the suit, the bright pink suit. No, you have it all wrong. It wasn't me. March 12th, 6:41 a.m., flight I-390, second floor, first class. Of course he's flying first class. Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenero. Tenero. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid! I caught a glimpse and it was a murder! What? A murder? What's going on this flight? Minor accidents, yeah. Not quite so much. Everyone please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. Someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. He asks that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor, and I assure you I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy! Now you listen here. I am not the killer. I simply found the body. Rude people!
So you say, however. I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime.
Was it you? Are you the one who did this and set me up?
I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant.
Oh, is that right?
I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up.
That travel wallet belonged to the victim, didn't it? I'm gonna bet that's the case. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about?
We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, he will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation.
Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Panero, is it?
Yes.
I was wondering if you might give me a chance.
A chance to do what?
A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous?
You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you'll have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick.
Of course, as you wish.
Good. Very well then, let's get started.
I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. Right off the bat, eh? Okay, we can do this. What Miss Tenero saw.
I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land.
He wasn't even touching the damn murder weapon. And that's it. That's her evidence.
I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Rebuttal. Perfect. We press everything here. That's how we do.
Hold it!
Ooh, that reminds me. Hold on, before I read this. We got more emote slots! So I need to make more emotes. I'm thinking about making a hold it or a take that. I'm not really sure yet, but I do want to also make ones that are more general for outside this game. So I have some ideas. I haven't decided if I'm going to try to draw them myself or if I'm going to pay my friend to do it. We'll see what happens, but look forward to more emotes sometime in the future eventually. I'm excited. We even got an animated emote slot and I was like, ooh, what can I do with that? I have an idea though. We'll see what actually pans out and how long it takes, but sometime in the future there will be more emotes. It'll be fun. Alright. Tell me, what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you?
Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Services like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism.
Look at her hair! I just noticed that it's very square. It's 3 layers of squares stacked on each other. That is some amazing work. Yeah, she's got cubes of hair. That's amazing. The designs in this game are so weird sometimes. Alright, anyway.
But I'm sure you have already realized that by now, right?
It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism when I'm the one under suspicion.
And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable.
Certain we're the killer. Certainly seem sure of yourself.
Of course, a professional flight attendant can't afford to make mistakes after all.
Perhaps, but you must admit there are few who can look at a murder with a clear mind.
We attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collected. We'll even calmly serve you coffee if you so wish as the plane makes a splashdown.
I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency.
Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers.
You haven't seen a lot of the dialogue because you always skip to presenting evidence. That's nice. Nice. I enjoy the dialogue just because they make a lot of funny jokes in it, so. But if I only skip it if I'm like, I need to go back, or like I'm repressing something or something like that. Like if I've already read it once, then I'll skip it.
That is the duty of all professional flight attendants.
Certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony? The scene you saw in front of the elevator. Yes. What did you see in front of the elevator?
That's what I was just about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator doors and bathed in the light coming from within.
It was us! So she says. So she says. The murder weapon dripping with blood. Really now.
I swear that was the grisly scene I saw before me. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'd be widespread panic by now.
As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time.
Excuse me?
You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder.
Nonsense! Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and am now listening to your defense, all with a smile.
Is her eye twitching? Yeah, her eye is twitching. Her face is twitching. Apparently, you also lie with a smile on your face. If we'll cooperate, she says. I'm not the culprit, and yet you would keep these restraints on me.
Mr. Edgeworth, please try to understand what kind of situation you're in right now.
What exactly is my situation?
I have the backing of the captain to keep you bound in this way. We are within our legal rights to restrain anyone who might threaten our captain mid-flight.
How are we threatening the captain?
In essence, you're in the same situation as someone who has been arrested by the police.
So I'm to stay restrained until you can clear up all of her doubts. At least I'm close. The mistake shines like the silver lining on a dark rain cloud. And I'm gonna capture some of that light with evidence. Alright, he's saying present evidence. It's gonna be the one. This one, because she twitched at this probably. Standing here with fresh blood dripping off of the murder weapon. Let's check this out. Wouldn't this be the murder weapon? There's not a lot of blood. Do you mean this? That was definitely wine. Alright, anyway. This has the murder weapon in it, so let's try this one. Objection! Nope, it's probably the wallet then. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't care what you think about it, honestly. I thought maybe that one or the other one, so... It was a 50-50. Just being professional, yeah. Just say what you mean. Standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. A wallet? You really think I could kill someone with a wallet? Okay, here we go for realsies. Objection! Miss Tenero.
What is with you yelling all of a sudden?
Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero. You say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood, is that correct?
Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine.
Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you.
What?
I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is?
It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky.
The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tornado.
What? Impossible!
Now then, do you still think I'm the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet?
But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did.
As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. If you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. No, that's totally wine, but okay. For the kids, it's grape juice.
Then...
That's right, you mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon and dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist.
No!
There, that should clear up that pesky accusation.
Wait just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please.
She's trembling and the tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. He's just saying it's grape juice because there might be kids on the plane. Yep. In first class. Yep. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light.
No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of the wallet for myself.
She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tornado, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me.
All right, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here.
Examine. Republic of Virginia? Okay, sure. Seems that this passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet as the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree?
Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth.
It doesn't change the fact that the stain on the wallet is not blood. It's definitely wine. Lady, I don't know what is she thinking? What is it now?
Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look?
Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... Of course it's the victims. He should have led with, I found this on the floor and was about to take it to a flight attendant for the lost and found. Should have led with that, Edgeworth. Here we go. Alright, well, we know that his name is Ackby Hicks from the Republic of Virginia. This is...
Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Ackby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property.
Wallet data updated in my organizer.
You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you?
How dare you? This lady is so rude! I want a refund for this flight.
You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon. But it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is.
Oh my god, I hate you so much, lady. Miss Tornado's logic.
As you claimed, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you?
Then why the fuck is his money all over the floor? Wouldn't I have, I don't know, picked up that? So, even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see.
You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play?
Her twitching. I don't like you. You and your cute hair.
Hold it!
Murder weapon's not the travel wallet, yeah. Shouldn't that be proof enough for you that I did not murder the victim?
Not at all.
Oh, and why not?
Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was.
Something that we stole. That's a rude accusation to make without proof. Think I stole it?
Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, and I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief.
Characters in this game are certainly interesting. Yeah, very much so.
Maybe I should put on a more serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage.
It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks's wallet. Our motive was simple. Really? Really? I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. Never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is this one flight.
But that is more than enough of a reason.
How do you figure?
He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear.
I had to steal his money.
Hold it!
Why would I kill someone for money? Like, seriously? I think I was after his money. Where did that cockamamie idea come from?
True, you are also a passenger in first class, but I thought something was off about you in those deeply etched lines on your forehead.
Rude? This lady's so fucking rude! They're not lines. They're perfectly normal and a part of my natural face. He does kind of have them, though. In fairness, he does have them. But very rude of her to say and point that out.
I don't think I've ever met someone with such terrible countenance on a flight before.
Maybe he just has a very stressful job, which, to be fair, his bestie is Phoenix, and they fight a lot in court, and Phoenix is kind of sometimes dumb, and he works with Gumshoe. Those are a lot of reasons for him to kind of get stressed out about stuff.
And that's when it hit me. You have the face of someone with money trouble.
What a random accusation to make of somebody. She really is making a fool of herself pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present the piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. Our money was... we were out to steal his money, then why is his money all over the floor? Objection! Wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tornado.
What is it now?
Miss Tornado, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony.
What are you talking about?
It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about this scene would prove the motive for the murder was... oh, sorry. What about this scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money? The fact that the money is, like, everywhere. Present! If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. That's right, the floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after.
Ah!
I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with his killer. I would think the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money.
But the wallet.
Objection!
She has the most flimsy logic. Yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks's passport.
Huh?
If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, and you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet.
Forgive me! Please!
Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick! Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenero,
Yes?
you lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus the lounge was dark and looking into the light from the elevator. It's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought I was the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Thank you for releasing me. What in the bloody... Upside down eyeball, fern leaf, Eggman, running away, giving up, scissors, leaf, arrow. Oh wait, that's not running away. It's a Dragon Ball. The Kamehameha? Yeah. Fireball. Waves? Water waves? Giving up. And a squiggly key. What is it now? The fuck? Alright. Upside down eyeball, fern leaf, Eggman, fireball, goat. Stickman with grabby hands. Upside down eyeball, fern leaf. Dancing stickman, scissors. Heidelin. Goat, question mark, exclamation point. Yep, very clear message. Very easy to understand. There is a cat next to me. Hold on, Chiriko, I'll find your camera. Where is your camera? Wait, where's the cat cam on this screen? Oh, do I not have the cat cam here? Oh, there it is, I found it. There you go. Yes, Chiriko, you want all the attention in the world and to be on the internet. Sit your ass down. Please. Please sit down and let me play this game. Miss Tenero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged.
It sounded like Borginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who...
I said he is giving the runabout! I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well. See? You, the attendant.
Yes, sir?
I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport.
We just proved that we didn't did it. What do you want from me?
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time! You are the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I'd hope that I don't dissolve in water, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc Leblanc the Second. I'm a very wealthy man in the border Virginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty.
Mr. Leblanc, what did you mean just now?
Pardon?
When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout?
I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it! Yes, I did. I saw the victim go into the elevator. Going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. What is this? License to love, laugh, maim, and murder. Okay. Movie posters. And what is the oh, sorry. Wrong voice.
And what's the significance of that time?
At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6?
Ah, what's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body?
Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Ah,
Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in a 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor, yes? Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. Look how much alcohol this guy has at his booth. Is he okay? Is this guy about to die of alcohol poisoning? Why does this guy is definitely paranoid because he's got his oxygen mask and the lifesaver and a parachute, and he's wearing his little floaty vest. This guy is terrified of planes. And then whoever's down here is just like, all the desserts. Oh, this guy just loves food. Oh, and TV and video games. He's a nerd, like us. Oh, still eating. Still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose? No compliant, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say, but do you have what you say? The evidence?
Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all?
Mr. Leblanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you saw, enough to give testimony? Of course! I was looking at that man the whole time! He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click! From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer.
I believe what Mr. Leblanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself.
Simple cell phone. A laptop or organizer I can see, but not kind of low budget. Are we not supposed to have, back in when this was a thing, weren't we not supposed to have our cell phones on during the plane flight? Leblanc feels like an offensive stereotype of a country that doesn't even exist. Yeah, he does. A combination of countries, actually. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty, and it produces those ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. Miss Tornado.
Yes?
I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene.
What? You want to examine the crime scene?
If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that is how you say it in English. fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss Tornado, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then.
I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say.
Ha! This should not be approved.
Please, Mr. Leblanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back.
So here's a question. I'm pretty sure in that flashback that we saw of Leblanc watching the other dude go into the elevator, he was sitting on this side because the poster was behind him on this side. So he's suspicious. You're not planning to erase evidence when you're doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha! We will see.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene.
What? Unbelievable! I'm in your debt, Miss Tornado.
However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that?
That's fine. Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I am still a suspect in this case.
I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the partner button.
It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor of the lounge. Can we wander around here first? Is that allowed? Oh, yeah, we can't look at stuff. What is this? This was Mr. Hicks's seat. I don't see the machine Mr. Leblanc was talking about.
Perhaps it is in the elevator?
Maybe. We should probably head down to the crime scene now. Nope, just that's all you gotta say about a seat, okay. Hurry up and investigate! Time should not be wasted. Precious as human time is how you say it, I believe. Okay. It's my seat. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything particularly useful for an investigation. It's not as if I'm constantly prepared for such a thing to occur. Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be weird if you were just always prepared? What's a lifesaver doing here? I bought it at the in-flight shop just beyond the lounge. Something should happen. Having one will save your life. I think this guy would have been better off not taking a plane to begin with. Do you need help, sir? Don't get near me, you criminal.
He said, don't get near me, you criminal.
I'm not the killer, and I just need to prove that starting now.
But that's contrary to the facts. He says, but that's contrary to the facts.
I can understand his English just fine, thank you very much. This is a lot of booze. And look at all these bottles lined up in a row. It's a miracle they made it through the turbulence without a scratch.
Actually, we asked the vendor to clean up all the ones that did break earlier.
And you mean to tell me you put all these up here after the turbulence? Damn!
We are simply thrilled to have someone so interested in the variety of drinks available.
I don't think anyone should drink this much. There's such a thing as overhydration. Opposite in this case, but for the kids, yes, he's totally hydrating right now. Nope, talk to him. Yeah, there we go. Hey, miss, how about another glass? Excuse me, but I was wondering if you know anything about the murder. How about it? How about a glass together? Sorry, but I must decline. I wasn't talking to you, I was asking the cute attendant.
I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. But if you need a refill, I'd be happy to bring you another glass anytime.
You got it, Toots. Rude. That's no way to talk to a lady. Edgeworth understands. Can we look at the food? No, we're gonna just talk to the guy? Okay. I may have a word with you. This steak, so awesome, munch. It's great to hear. However, I would like to ask you a few questions. Munch, was here, munch, the whole time, so wouldn't know. Either speak, please pick one. Munch.
I think you chose to eat.
Yes, I can hear that.
How do you eat that loud?
What's this way? Can I go this way? Ooh. That's how you get down to the lounge. Interesting. I thought we were going to take the elevator. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. I should have talked to her first. Oh well. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tornado.
It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed.
I see. We'll bear that in mind.
I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that. We reserve the right to stop investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time.
So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. Leblanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board?
I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff keycard. We found no record of a keycard being used at all.
Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Begin investigation! I actually wanted to stick around upstairs some more, but oh well. Too late. Now then, let's get started.
But where should we start from?
Let's start with Mr. Leblanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it would mean that the killer was around somewhere. What clues point to where the killer could have been?
If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes.
First sort of business will be to gather information to win your trust. I should talk to you.
Are you in need of assistance?
Captain's permission. Miss Tornado, I'd like to ask you about the investigating the lounge.
As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around.
You could pass a message along. Tell them I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation.
I will. However, please realize that you are still under suspicion. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you.
Of course, and I take no offense.
Do you really understand what I'm saying?
Yes, verily.
Do you pinky swear you do on your honor as a professional prosecutor?
I pinky swear I do on my honor as a professional prosecutor.
Well, I guess that settles that.
I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. Making a little adjustment here. Okay. We gotta show our badge to everybody. That's the way this works.
Even if you show that to me, I still cannot allow you free reign. I'm sorry, but I must admit I still have my doubts about you.
Guilty until proven innocent, I see. Still, no, okay. You're not interested in seeing anything. You are super uncooperative. Ooh, what's in the Sky magazine? Details meals, movies, and other services inside. Touch the check button for details. Let's take a look. Alright, so... drinks were being served up until 6, and then 6 o'clock's when the movie started. Complimentary services for all your dietary needs. Best restaurant in the skies. All times shown correspond to our departure time zone. Okay. Edgeworth showing off his badge is something you can't imagine for some reason. Yeah, he's not the type to do that. Unlike Phoenix, shows it off every chance he gets. But in the spirit of Phoenix, we're gonna do it anyway. Alright, let's take a look around. Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. Sorry, I had to stretch a sec.
It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off.
I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. What is this? Pity that a bronze statue knows not when good drink has been spilled at its feet.
This is a statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo I Fly.
Hugo I Fly, okay.
Who is a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would be thrilled if he knew so much grape juice was here at his feet.
Is that a hint of hero worshipping I detect?
The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed.
There must still be clues to be found here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. That's a piano. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area.
Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you.
I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. We'll look at that door last. That's like the most thing. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds.
Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them?
I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation.
The clouds, they tell me nothing. Okay, whatever. There are a few copies of the Sky magazine in the magazine rack.
This month's special is an English trivia quiz.
It's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle.
Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle?
Case in point. Damn. Much sadness. Alright, let's look at here.
This door leads to the flight attendant's room. But please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel.
The room is giving off the scent of woman's perfume. One would think that a perfume would smell great, however to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door.
Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. Nope, can't go back up and look at shit? Okay, fine. I guess we're stuck here. Alrighty, let's take a look here. What floors does this elevator service?
Only the first and second, although it can go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard.
So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects the first floor with the second floor. rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What is this? What is this sinister-looking figure on the floor here?
Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. iFly. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one.
You have an in-flight shop?
Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks's body was discovered.
There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? The blood is still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? The money everywhere. Hello? Respond? Thing? Okay. Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks's wallet at some point. What's this? I wonder what was hanging off of this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Never just put my finger on it. He was definitely holding something. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight.
So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead?
Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there.
Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes.
I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Wound on the back of Mr. Hicks's head suggests blunt force trauma, but what caused it? I mean, clearly. Clearly. Even his glasses are broken. Oh, interesting. Were they broken during his murder? I don't know. Okay. Oh, what's in his pocket? What is this? Something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. Oh, looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Ah, his phone's missing! His phone was connected to him. Who took his phone? Photo of Mr. Hicks, data jotted down in my organizer. Photographs discovered inside the elevator. Interesting. Well, we got some deduction to do. Oh wait, hold on. Not right there! Shit! Sorry. Back, back, back. This spot, right here. I'm gonna deduce this. That spot. That spot's the one we're gonna deduce. Not that one. Sorry. That's the one.
Eureka!
Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found.
His machine?
His cell phone, Miss Tornado.
Ah, so I guess it's because it's not here.
Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Missing cell phone data jotted down in my organizer. Discovered inside the elevator. Okay. Well, let's logic some stuff. Blunt force trauma, Mr. iFly. Sorry, blunt force trauma. Confirm, Mr. iFly. Let's connect those. Statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I fingered something out.
Yes, what is it?
The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head.
Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title?
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating?
Would appear that the figurine is our murder weapon.
Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection.
Why is your eye twitching again? You are so weird. Perhaps Master of the Obvious. Oblivious would be more befitting. Mr. iFly piggy bank data jotted down the organizer, discovered inside the elevator. Where was the killer? He could have been killed on the first floor because it was in the elevator. Maybe. Let's see if that gets us anywhere. Let's try this. Killer could have been in the elevator. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. In the elevator with Hicks? If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. In the elevator with Hicks, broken glasses. They're broken during his murder. Okay, we need to look around some more. What's with the credit cards? Money strewn all over the floor. I can just drag it. Is there anything else with... Machine should be hanging off here. Must still be somewhere on this plane. Yeah. Okay, well. What or who is this?
This is a bronze statue of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s.
Did the man actually age in the span of 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. They look the same to me. Okay. Count up windows, I'll glimpse the clouds. Nope, that's the same as we've read before. Nothing to do with the piano. Counter window. Nope, still the counter windows. I mean, what else was there to do? Are we in need of assistance? Maybe. About the victim. Yeah, tell me. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Miss Tornado.
Yes, I can't help but notice the sad atmosphere in here.
Yes, it's a rather tragic crime.
I'll say, robbing the poor man after bludgeoning him to death. Talk about rubbing in the salt.
He wasn't... Oh, wait. I guess they did steal his phone. Never mind.
I can't forgive someone who would do this to a passenger of mine.
What are you glaring at me for?
I swear as a professional flight attendant that I will capture the culprit with my own hands.
You know, you're gonna have to get a hell of a lot better at doing detective work, because right now you're pretty damn terrible at it. I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over all the new leads I've collected so far one more time. The key to solving this lies at the intersection of my logic and the evidence. What can you tell me about this? The Sky magazine. Nope, you don't want to tell me shit? Okay. How about the piggy bank? You're definitely not telling me anything. Okay, well, you're kind of annoying. Oh, maybe I should examine the evidence. No, I can't. Can't check this? Okay, I can check this, though. It says iFly Airlines. You know, I've seen it occur a lot recently. It has been bothering me greatly. Why does nobody know how to properly capitalize and space nouns anymore? That's a jab at the iPhone. Alright, here's the blood. There's some blood on one of the corners. Could this piggy bank be the murder weapon? We already figured that out, that it is, indeed, the murder weapon. Wait, where's the coin slot even in this? It's a piggy bank, but where do the coins go in? Oh, back of the head. Oh, top of the head. Okay. I suppose this is where you insert your coins. I have to say, for a piggy bank, it's made rather well. So well, in fact, that I'm not sure there's a way to take your money out. That's very true. I did not see one either. Interesting. Okay, well, I mean, that's that. Anything else to look at in here? Seems that this passport is all that's in here. Passport's all that's in here. We can't open it. Nope. Okay. What else? Here's the crime scene. What else about him? Okay, let's take a look. He's a grumpy grump. Look at that glare. Oh, switch tabs! Victim was seated in first class like myself, Acme Hicks, Rhoda Tenedo, an iFly Airlines flight attendant charged with taking care of first class. Zinc Leblanc, age 62, from Northern European Republic of Virginia. Says he's a wealthy art dealer, time obsessed. Well, okay. Already checked this area earlier, but never hurts to take another look. I think that means we got everything that we're gonna get out of here. All we could do is logic. The killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Were they broken during his murder? I mean, I don't have anything else. We'll do it for Skynes to see what happens when you connect these. We don't lose much, so it's fine. The pieces don't fit together quite right. Nope, they don't. Certainly do not. That's fine. So what are we supposed to do now? Can I go back upstairs? No? Flight attendant's room, perfume, smells.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Sorry, spaced out for a second there. Nope. Quite a bit of broken glass here. Be careful. Not warning you because we care. Where else could they hide? What else is there for me to... Oh, wait. Huh? There was something! Oh my god. There we go.
This grand piano is the part of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive.
It's not a piano. It's more like an overgrown music box.
Ah, but its keys to press along with the music, as though there really is someone playing it.
Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Well, that did nothing, but at least I got to talk about the piano. That's just about the magazines. I mean, what more is there to look at? This toppled over chair, yet another victim of the turbulence.
Ah, no! Look at all that grape juice staining in the back. It may not look it, but this chair was extremely valuable.
It was?
Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals' leader sat in this very chair.
I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals?
Can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens.
Ah, that explains it. Not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. Well, we got dialogue, but it didn't do anything. I mean, I don't think I missed anything in here. What are we looking for? I mean, there's money and there's plastic cards all over the place. Money. Yep, that's all money. Body. No grape. Oh! There's no grape juice residue on the soles of his shoes, making it highly unlikely that Mr. Hicks entered this elevator after the turbulence. I mean, I guess that was something. He's really dead, yeah, uh-huh. Focus on the- there's blood on the back of his head. Struck very hard, glasses are broken. The machine should be somewhere on the plane. Can't think of anything else that could possibly be here. Where else can we look? Are we in need of assistance? I mean, yeah. Oh, we can't present profiles to you. You really not gonna tell me, like, anything at all? No? Okay. I think we've checked everywhere, though. What more is there to look at? Okay, what are the questions that we have right now? If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Oops, nope, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Or the victim's glasses, were they broken during the murder? Okay, so there's a way... I mean... Oh! Soon was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Huh. Somebody went into the thing. There's footprints here.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in this scene? It's the, footprints.
Take that!
What is it?
They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree they're a set of footprints. There's some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator.
So you think?
Yes, this belongs to our killer.
Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class.
I don't think they'll be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match.
Oh, I see.
In the elevator. They had to have been in there because he didn't have grape juice wine on the bottom of his shoes, which means he got on before the turbulence, and then clearly somebody got off the elevator afterwards and went into the shop. I have it.
I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder.
What? Really?
Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person.
But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself?
Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless.
Which means...
Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Scraped these footprints, data, jotted down on our organizer. Perfect. That should be everything to get here. Yeah, we recharged. What's going on over there? Oh my gosh. More moon runes! Alright, we got leaf bug, eggman, goat, stickman waving, fern leaf. Squiggly key, scissors, leaf, Heidelin, light bulb, despair, squiggly key, stickman waving, fern leaf. Oh gosh, there's more! Alright. Despair, squiggly key, eggman, dancing stickman, waving stickman, upside down eyeball, fireball, scissors, Heidelin, and arrow. Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as the plane arrived late!
But the movie...
What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time!
What is the matter, Mr. Leblanc?
There is no emergency! Sorry, wrong voice, wrong person, my bad.
If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir.
Do not tell me what to do! I need not to sit down! Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? I'm not mistaken, merely that there's room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine! Suit yourself! You're a weird man, sir. What he saw? I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal! Mr. Leblanc's conclusions seemed to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come let me see. Hurry! Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. Leblanc's account somehow. And fast. What he saw? Rebuttal. Alright, he's certain that he saw Hicks enter the elevator. We press everything. That's how we do roll. Mr. Leblanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at the time? Of course! I saw what I was inside! You're sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man! This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man, that's what he says.
Hold it!
Was he really alone? Of course! I will bet even 1 cent! Wow. Cheap ante for a cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play it, I'll happily take your 1 cent.
Hold it!
Got the 6 and the 12. We gotta press everything first. That's how, so we get all of our extra dialogue in. I assume that the pocket watch in this case is the one you kept checking, is that correct? Oh, you noticed! It is a very expensive antique, I will have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand. It does look very well designed and quite classy. I will have to charge you if you want to touch it. It's quite alright. Let's continue with your testimony. Huh, what a cheap man you are. Now, return the time you wasted back to me. And if we must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock. Body was discovered 15 minutes later. It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15.
And that's when I found the 2 of them as well.
You see? It all matches with my testimony. We were the only one in the lounge.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. No, your silly opinion is what is mistaken.
Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken.
Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. Spy a little hole in his words. As you wish, Mr. Leblanc, I will now show you proof of my innocence. Only person inside was that Hicks man, so he says. Hey, look, I found footprints.
Objection!
Objection! Mr. Leblanc. What is it? There's a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. And there, the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints! Oh, I didn't turn the cat cam off when the cat left. I'm sorry. There you go. Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Oof. There must have been another person on the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Arrow wave goat! Waving man upside down eyeball! Dancing man! Fireball despair! Squiggly key Heidelin! Waving man upside down eyeball! Bug? Question mark? Exclamation point.
Can you please translate for us?
Oh, she looks super sussy.
No way, that's totally impossible. I guess is what he said.
You are totally suspicious. No way! That is totally impossible! I know there was no other person in there. Saw with my own eyes!
If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. Leblanc is lying to us.
I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just once more will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? What he saw, part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear, there was no one else inside. No one.
Mr. Leblanc, if you would please calm down.
What? Dare you two have an issue with my eyewitness testimony?
No, not at all. Please forget I said anything.
Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. He's sweating a lot. We're on to him. He was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by the seat. But why? So, are you still upset now? I am always upset! The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. He's always checking the time. Why were you always checking the time? Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. Hold on. Is it because you want to watch the movie and the movie's supposed to start right at 6 o'clock? Oh, he wants to watch the movie that started at 6 and then they were late because of the turbulence. Okay, Mondio. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie's starting time. Turn back to me my time! In money! You understand the point. I turn off the cat cam and then you come back? Did you know? Look at you. You are a cat. You are a very cute cat. And I would like you to sit down. Be on the internet. Where are you going? Alright, bye. What? Try to play a game, cat. Movie. Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Summary of the plot and the start time. Interesting. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. That's a problem because the times are set to the departure time zone. So his clock was wrong. So what time did he actually see Hicks get in the elevator? So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late. Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it if that's all right. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. Cat, you're making this very difficult. You're messing up your little mat. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, you must pay attention to me. If you look away, I will mute you, because he did that the other day and was very bad. Alright, press him.
Hold it!
Hold it! So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes! I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Miss Tenero, was this movie shown on this flight?
Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time.
Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense! You doubt me? No. Now stop pointing at me like that. Odd. How did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure. Watch is set to the destination time. Oh, he says, oh shit, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to whack you in the face when I was stretching. Oh, cat, I'm sorry. Come back. Turn around. Come here. Jericho. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to smack you. Oh, now you're all hurt. Okay. You're so sad that I whacked you in the face. I'm sorry, cat. Alright, he always sets it to the destination time. We're gonna press it, but we're gonna go back to that. You sure about what you just testified, Mr. Leblanc? Yes, of course! I am a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go, and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch. I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made. Flatter me all you want, but you will not get the 1 cent out of me. That's alright. All I require is this piece of testimony. Saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. You swear there was no one else inside. No one! Oh shit, I didn't needed to press those 3. Don't think he's lying either. I think he might be mistaken about something. Mistaken? Yes, and I'm not going to correct his mistaken recollection with evidence.
And this professional attendant shall witness the prowess of a professional prosecutor.
Movie 1 is... So he sets his watch. Okay, happened to follow the man with his eyes when he passed me. Alright.
Hold it!
Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in the glance. Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing! And how can you be so sure? Just because! I'd appreciate if you didn't take my life so lightly with a simple just because. Huh! Well then I was only making a joke! I saw Mr. Hicks, alright? Clearly into the elevator he was entering. Okay. Is it possible that someone else was hiding inside? What? You dare insult me? I have belief in my eyesight. When I look for art to sell, I'm told often I have great sight for the arts. I think the phrase you were looking for was great sense, although that's debatable. But isn't it possible someone was just outside of your line of sight? You are so persistent! I tell you, I look clearly. Swear there was no one else inside. Why do you insist that you are absolutely not mistaken? Because when I say I'm not wrong, I am not wrong!
Mr. Leblanc, if I may, I think beyond misconception and mistakes lies the truth.
Funny, that suspiciously mirrors something I told her only a little while ago.
I honestly don't think Mr. Leblanc is lying.
I don't think he's lying either. But he's mistaken. Yep, we just did that part. Okay, now let's get him. Let's check pocket watches at destination time because he always sets it when he boards the plane. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the problem here, is that it's supposed to be the departure time. Here we go. Objection! Mr. Leblanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. Now if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie scheduled was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenero, for the confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now?
Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point.
That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa.
But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we are still running on Borginian time.
What? Time difference between Virginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule.
What?
Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours faster when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1,000,000 cents! Very upset. This should clear up all of the remaining accusations.
So, this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right?
Yes, because Mr. Leblanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing?
I've got something to say.
You are?
Yeah, I'm Cammy Meal. I'm a flight attendant.
What is it you wish to say?
Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know?
What? How can you be so sure of the time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point.
This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo in the Republic of Zhengfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We ask that all passengers remain on board at that time. Thank you for your cooperation. Refuel and transfer cargo. Okay. stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhangfa, correct? Present for our readers. Superb class juice to 10 of something lucky readers.
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks.
During that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight?
No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhangfa.
What about the flight crew?
The few who were handling the cargo transfers might have temporarily gotten on or off. But eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane.
So basically I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Refueling in Zhangfa jotted down in the organizer. Okay, perfect. Receipt info received from Cammy Meal.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you that Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Miss Meal's testimony jotted down in my organizer. Alright, that puts us the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhangfa. Ha! You are here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
Unfortunately, yes.
But then, how do we explain the footprints?
He's not that obvious! This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him! And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. Leblanc? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there's something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge? The footprints, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe the broken glass. Cell phone? No, cell phone could be taken. Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Well, he was in his seat. Victim supposedly had one, but it's gone missing. Did the killer take it? Found victim's pocket souvenir picture. Tie the crime to a location other than the lounge. I mean, wouldn't it be the footprints? No, that would be their escape route. I mean, because he is in his seat, so... I'm not positive what it could be, so we'll try a few things. Don't need to hear wild, desperate stories, grasping for weeds. Okay, yeah, it wasn't that one. Alright. So it's not because he was in his seat. The footprints? If not that, then maybe it's the phone. Oh, maybe this. Usually on display at the in-flight shop, found at the crime scene with blood on it. Maybe the piggy bank. The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Huh, such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. Doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man?
If I may.
What is it?
You see. Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh? And why do you know this so well?
Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
And when was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.
Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence?
That's right.
You were in the shop just before the turbulence?
Yes, I was.
Come to think of it, Miss Tenero was when I found the body. I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
And what is beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
Then you were on the first floor?
Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room.
You saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by.
I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was.
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there.
Why did you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well.
Shall we head over there then?
What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenero?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are.
You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us?
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda.
Did she lie for us so that we could search? Was she not that bad of a person? Because she's still kind of rude.
Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. Leblanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I'll be your guide from now on.
Something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Interesting. Can I talk to you? Please? Game, please? There we go. Oh, I'm really mad. You had better hurry and bring me some evidence. If you could wait just a little longer while we look into the shop. Huh! Don't number the birds before they are born. Don't number the... What? I have no idea what he's trying to say. Yeah, me either. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, perhaps? Oh, that makes sense. All I ask is for your patience and cooperation. Miss Melee. Oh, Meal, because it's camo meal. Okay. Miss Meal, about investigating the in-flight shop. You're of no use to me asleep. Wake up.
Huh? What's up?
I need you to come with me so I can search the shop.
Go on ahead without me. I'll catch you later.
How has this woman not been fired yet? That's a very good question. Please. The controls are a little wonky. Alright, into the shop we go, I guess. Yeah, please? Work, please. There we go. Just go in. March 12th, 8:32 a.m., Flight I-390, first floor, in-flight shop. Those are some very large and very gaudy luggage bags. March 12th, 8:32 a.m. Oh yeah, I read that already. I'm dumb. So, this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
Think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then.
Hold on, you can't clean up a potential crime scene.
Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. The blood on it is still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? We got Mr. iFly back here again. Alright, time to look around. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. In-flight shop, begin investigation. What are these?
Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. How?
I mean, I guess it makes it really obvious to find your luggage.
You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight. But in the real world, you try, then buy.
No way, but either way, it doesn't really matter.
True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? That's fair.
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly heads painted on there. Sorry, on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you?
I don't know if I like that. It's certainly making something jump inside my stomach.
Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined taste. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was gonna finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with.
It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? That suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda.
Miss Tenero designed this?
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Edgeworth, you trying to be nice to Miss Rhoda?
Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe? I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bleh.
Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. It just rolls away!
You okay?
I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Melee. Letting a suitcase really roll around has got to be a safety violation. Plane shaking causes it to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Well, that definitely caused some messes.
Here, I'll put it back.
Good to know.
I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever.
Notice anything? It's when you think about what happened regarding this case.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer, though, Mr. Edgeworth.
Rude? I can assure you that I'm here in this shop to prove just the opposite.
Yeah, but it was me that got you the permission to look around, you know? So don't forget that, okay?
Wow, is she narcoleptic? Are you okay? How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep?
Well, you know what would really show your thanks? You see that item for sale over there?
Sorry, but you're gonna have to make do with my words of appreciation. Oh wait, we gotta show her a badge! We gotta show everybody our badge. Everyone must see the badge. That's how we do.
Ooh, I'd love to have this piece of jewelry. Can I have it?
No, you may not. This is a prosecutor's badge.
Ah, phooey. Then why'd you show it to me?
I wanted to prove to you that I really am a prosecutor. And that it's not possible for a prosecutor like me to commit such a crime as... Doesn't give a shit. See it, I'm just wasting my time here with Cousin Hare here. That's a Addams Family reference. Cousin It. I get it. I get it. I understand you. Let's show you this. Miss Rhoda said that this piggy bank was in the shop, right? Did you find her a tiny bit suspicious? I don't think I can say either way yet. There's not enough evidence to convince me that she was lying about anything back there. Are you sure about that? Let's ask you about your testimony. So what is that? Are you gonna give it to me? Oh, and I'm not supposed to accept any presents. Unless they're really worth something. Nope, okay. We're gonna not talk to you then. Guess there's nothing to talk to you about. You are really hard to move around. Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them. Mr. Edgeworth, you're getting pollen all over. Oh, excuse me. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale. Oh, interesting. We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? Aren't they supposed to provide those to you for free in an emergency? Like, come on. I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Yep, I would agree with that. We got these plushes here. Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meal is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? Because that's probably what happens, Edgeworth. The glass from this display case's door is shattered all over the floor. And it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat? It's a tiny captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. On the plush! Right? I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases. No one I'd suggest? Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip. Okay, then how about you buy something for me then, as a present? Can't think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything. But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, and then we'll talk. Glass is on the floor. Tiny captain's hat. Let's see. What can we logic? Broken glass. Murder weapon. Tiny captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. Plain shaking causes the roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Is the tiny captain's hat on the plush? Suitcase is designed by Miss Tenero. It's one sharp design. And this is just the lifesavers. Can you tell me anything else? Notice anything? I guess let's try. Like I said earlier, I was the one answering people's calls while we were refueling in Zhangfa. And Mr. Hicks was in his seat at that time. What time was that again?
He called it around 5 a.m. You were at your seat around then too, you know.
I do recall people calling for service at around that time. Even if it turns out to be a waste of time, I must stand firm. I just know that there's a vital clue or two awaiting me here in the shop. I mean, so far we didn't pick anything up, though. So, can I look closer into the display case? That's what I'd really like to do. No? Come on. It's so hard to move, I hate this. Lost controls would be better, honestly. This is about the glass. Mini captain's hat. Stuffed toys, relatively cheap. Animal abuse. Wide selection of stuff. What's on sale? Okay, not buying shit. I guess all I can do is logic. Okay, what can we logic? Oh, I guess he is supposed to have the tiny captain's hat. The statue's missing it. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. Oh, it fits perfectly. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Mr. iFly piggy bank data updated in the organizer discovered inside the elevator.
Huh? Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop.
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything?
Since further inspection of this display case is needed. Can I inspect further now, please? Okay, cool. Well, rest till he's inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. The thing he usually says. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. It's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus the glass broke rather cleanly.
Ah!
What is it?
I touched the glass and it cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth, it hurts!
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. iFly Airlines related books line the shelf. History of iFly Airlines, the future of iFly Airlines, the 7 wonders of iFly, fight on iFly Airlines, working name, Go You Airlines, iFlying, I Heart Flying, I think that's what I said. The titles make it very clear that they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. For security, there's a lock on this display case. Miss Melee, if I may ask you about this lock.
The one who's in charge of the shop is Miss Rhoda, so she's got the keys to all of the display cases.
I see.
Oh, I bet you want to buy something. Do you want me to go get the key from her?
No, that's alright. Glass is broken. Cleanly broke. And then she cuts herself. Why would you touch it? Is this the same man as the one portrayed by the statues around the elevator?
Yeah, it's a paperweight of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. On the bottom shelf, we have the cute one. The middle shelf is the realistic one. And on the top shelf, that's the floral version. What?
Floral? You sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. Maybe we wanted to do something? Well, I imagine that this is where the statue came from. The spot somehow connected to any of the evidence you hold? Yeah, I mean, this probably came flying off the shelf and then broke the glass.
Eureka!
There's definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. iFly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
Nope, no, there isn't.
Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. Yeah, probably because the thing fell during the turbulence. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time, too.
Huh? That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. iFly from here after the turbulence. The plane shook so much during it that it made a huge mess of the shop. That's the turbulence, okay. Mr. iFly piggy bank data updated in the organizer. And she's asleep. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen what I'm talking.
Huh?
The murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules the piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that's a very real possibility.
But then what if when the killer went to take Mr. iFly, they broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Let's do some logicking. Alright, broken glass. No, turbulence. Made a mess of the shop. But the suitcase didn't get... So this is weird, because the suitcases were nice and neat and organized and didn't roll around, even though they're supposed to be hazardous. That's weird. Yes, there's definitely something wrong here.
What's with the sun yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange, like the color and the such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator.
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It'd be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? Spotted something that's not quite right. What are we looking at? What's so unusual about this suitcase? Oh, this one's not on blockers!
Take that!
Something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in...
There are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying.
And...
And so it was very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? $1,200 price tag. Not exactly priced by someone with a conscience, I'd say. This was apparently designed by Miss Tenero herself. The design has a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Yes, perhaps that is the best way to put it. That's putting it very mildly, Edgeworth.
Open. Open sesame!
It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. Oh look, blood! Of course! Piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood.
Huh? It's blood! Does he have a scarf that he wears normally? Nope, I don't see one.
Oh, but you know who might? You! It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murderer after all. Investigation complete!
So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps?
Yeah, but aren't you just talking about cloth then?
That alone is too small. A larger item wouldn't be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is the body! The dead man, because there's no blood in the elevator and it's weird.
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? iFly suitcase data jotted into my organizer. Blood cloth data jotted down the organizer. Definitely looks like it came from one Mr. Leblanc.
But...
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location.
So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that... I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something.
Ooh, that's suspicious.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Knew it! It had to be Rhoda.
I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments, however. If I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun! We can camp out and watch over everything together.
I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. But she's suspicious, and yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. What is she so nervous about? Oh, is this a two-parter? I think we got time to do a little more. Alright, we will save. March 12th, 1 p.m. local time, Hope Springs Airport. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenero in private. So I'm left wondering just what she was up to. Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. Is this Francesca? Has to be Francesca, because she's on the save picture. Go with Francesca. Sounds like her music too, I think.
I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth.
Yes! I love her. She's so cool. She was really annoying at first, to be fair, but she got really cool. She helped us out a lot. Francesca, thought you were still in Germany.
I go where I'm needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught.
Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are.
Don't try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest.
What?
It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought that I'd seize the day. When a disciple of the House of One Karma would become a criminal? Have you no shame?
Wait, it's all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim.
A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Francisca, do you want us to believe that I killed a man?
I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself.
Sorry, I tripped over my words there.
I can put your arrest on hold until then.
And that's as it should be.
Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way.
Words hard.
Fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for.
Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I had no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe? Yes!
I love him. He's a good boy, he tries hard. Yes, sir!
Too slow.
And he gets whipped. Ow!
Listen up.
Sigh. Words.
Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand?
Mr. Edgeworth! Supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Yes, sir! Understood, sir!
You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth. If you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit I'm a bit curious to what Francisca's up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Ah, now we have the gumshoe theme. Perfect. Wait, can I look around? Okay, cool. What a view. The plane's preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of so many planes.
Wow, I'd love to take a run down that runway.
Oh, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. Nope. That's still about the child. I'm like, who? This guy looks familiar. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair.
I did it! I made it a whole flight! I'm not scared of turbulence anymore!
He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Nom 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 nom! In Soviet Russia, world flag lunchboxes eat you! Oh no, is he that one dude from the studio? If... Found it, lol! Ooh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on! It's over 9,000 lols! For my next elite movie, it's gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gotta be Rockstars, so many boxers! Oh god. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Oh no. Are you from Lunchland? Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops.
What should I go with? I recommend our airport special. World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time.
Tuning in while driving and oh your god, yeah.
We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look for like different countries' flags.
I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, nope, same dialogue if you talk to the dude. No! Make it stop! Variety of lunchboxes, international, okay. Let's try to get some information on Detective Gumshoe first. Okay, don't go that way. Hey, Gumshoe, you wanna look at my badge? Because we show it to everybody. That's the thing that we do here. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I think something just fell out of your pocket. What are you? So, did something fall out or not? And, get a good look, sir. Doesn't concern you, so don't worry about it. My prosecutor's badge of all things. Gumshoe must never know that I dropped it. Damn. Edward's like, I must be perfect in front of Gumshoe. Trying to impress him. Alright. Initial investigation. So, how's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir. It sounds like Francisca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was, a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It's kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. How did she know? And had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. It's sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly, and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Tell me about Francisca. Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details. It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it's high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. No, I want to show Gumshoe more shit. What can I show you? Body? Detective Gumshoe, this is... How, is that for me? I shouldn't have, sir. But I'll gladly take anything you want to give to me. Hands off, detective. This item's related to the case. Oh. So what is it you want to talk to me about? Forget I asked, detective. Okay, we're not showing him anything. Alrighty then. Off we go. March 12th, 1:37 p.m. Flight I-390, second floor, first class.
So, you must be the captain.
Why, yes I am, and who might you be?
I am the protege prosecutor, Francisca Von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do.
What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Francisca and her whip. Ah! She got him. She did indeed get him. Oh, and here's our very angry man, who the cloth probably came from. March 12th, 1:40 p.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Now see here! Ah! Sorry. I'm so sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you! Mr. Leblanc. Oh, it's you! Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Sir, you can't go in there. Miles Edgeworth, I am one of the prosecutors on this case, so please let me through. I'm very sorry, sir. No one is allowed to enter without Miss Von Karma's express permission. I'm on the case. Yes, I understand that, but I also have explicit instructions not to let you through for Miss Von Karma. Why would you do this to me, Francisca? You finished taking a statement yet. Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. Leblanc's cargo? What? If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. Leblanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of art. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. Leblanc kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Oh, I did get it. Found inside the suitcase, this beautiful pattern has been soiled by blood. Hey, buddy. Mr. Leblanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's Virginian cloth! As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course! This fabric is so famous, orders come from all over the seas for more! Bloody cloth data updated in my organizer. And this is the cargo you were talking about earlier? No, no, no. My cargo this time is many gigantic. You, detective! When can I have my cargo moved? And get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good! And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendance room, too! Attendant? What if he's talking about Miss Tenero? Yeah, tell me more about that. Rhoda Tenero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. Leblanc? She was taken into the attendance room for her interview. And then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you've given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room? Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. Understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Francisca's logic. Great! Oh, it's always with Francisca.
Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until the body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This, unmistakably, makes you the likely suspect.
The likely suspect. Francisca?
Do you have a problem with that?
No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. Usually a bit more absolute.
I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend?
Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Well, you know what we gotta do. We gotta press everything. Obvious conclusion. What's that? Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit?
I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you some meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes.
Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. Meow!
I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence.
See, she hasn't changed a bit. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. See, the crime was here in the very lounge. So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene?
I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you.
Nothing more?
Are you saying there's more than I need to know?
Ah! Why'd you whip me, sir?
Sorry, Scruffy. My hand must have slipped.
It would appear that Francisca doesn't have all the facts of the case yet. Time victim was seen calling for an attendant till his body was found.
Hold it!
What do you mean by seen?
Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then, from the time after that call, until the body was found...
Only one person in the lounge the entire time.
Hold it!
Well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me the criminal.
We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is still fun things that even you must admit to at this time.
Unmistakably makes you the likely suspect.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir! I don't think you did it! Miss Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow!
Quite, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, there's no guarantees that he's not a criminal.
Francisca.
I command to see some proof that you are not the guilty party.
The likely suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know about the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. But I carry the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. Scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered. Nope. Suitcase says this was used to transport the body. Here we go. Objection! It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all.
And what does that mean?
Found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used the suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime was not this lounge at all.
Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions?
Excuse me.
All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth.
I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily.
You should know better than that. A Von Karma is perfect in every way.
Ah, but did you know that the killers definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
As if there is proof of that.
Where's the proof that the suitcase was moved around? I mean, it doesn't have the wheelies on it. Discovered the in-flight shop. Looks like footprints and something being dragged. Ooh, this. Perfect.
This built great juice in front of the elevator.
Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where's the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here? The wood skid marks. Whoop, here you go. This mark here, would you say it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels?
I suppose.
Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. That means the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here.
I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else.
I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Not so fast! This doesn't prove you in the clear. Not by a long shot!
You really gonna do this with me, Frenchie? Oh. Alright, fine.
You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hits the turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that part of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
There's so much wrong with that. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly.
Just what are you insinuating?
That it will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. No, we gotta press everything first, Edgeworth. We gotta get all the dialogue. That's how this works. Prepared yourself with the piggy bank. Yeah, that's wrong. And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked.
That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass, like this.
Ow! You shattered my heart of glass! So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Mr. iFly bank, does she?
That takes care of how you attained the murder weapon.
Yeah, it's not the murder weapon, though. Then we waited in the lounge, waited for the victim in the lounge, then killed him, but there's no blood. I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge.
I thought you'd say that, but you didn't think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood spatter in the lounge, by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it.
You're accusing me of tampering with a crime scene now?
We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak.
And what do you propose I did after that? Then when the elevator stuff, put the victim stuff in the suitcase. So I put the victim's body into the suitcase, and then where was I headed, Francesca?
That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to first class where you could safely keep an eye on it.
We're talking about this thing, you know. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary.
Annoying brat. Well, then you were intending to leave it inside the elevator. But unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because...
Then the turbulence happened, and the body flew out from the suitcase, so she says. You've experienced turbulence on a flight before.
Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while.
The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second. Good thing it was only for a sec, sir. It'd been bad if you'd really blanked out. Yes, indeed. Edgeworth, it was like 10 minutes. We've been over this. Unfortunately, blinking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place.
That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth.
No way out. Put the suitcase back.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you really think it would have been so easily caught?
Objection!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now.
Ngh. She hit him! I have to find a contradiction faster. I won't have much of my own hide left to save.
I have to say you're looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge.
And pretend to be the discoverer of the body.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body.
I suppose that's true.
So then, you're yielding to my statements?
Don't be foolish. I still insist that you're the killer. But in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body of
Discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. The logic is reasonably sound, and the large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right. It's the piggy bank. This was taken as a display case in the in-flight shop after the turbulence. Alright, here we go. Objection! The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared.
Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand into the courtroom must learn to master.
But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix?
Fake?
This Mr. Eyefly piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon.
What?
The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. It was taken after the turbulence had occurred.
Then what about the bloodhounds bank? What do you make of that?
I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. And then the killer proceeded to pick up the bank up off the floor and took it to the fabricated fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackley Hicks.
You, sir!
Yes, ma'am.
Other than this piggy bank, was there anything else resembling a murder weapon we found?
We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears that your stall tactics are at an end.
Well, it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir.
Eek! If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth.
Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase and signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility.
And that would be,
That the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon.
didn't we just...
Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane on the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you say? Let's see, so that means that the killer had the key to the display case.
Francisca, the person you're talking about.
Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricks the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her.
Yes.
Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other?
I have no interest in interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish.
Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Talk to Francisca. Miss Tenero's in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Yeah, it's the same thing.
That blue door over there leads to the flight attendant's room, sir. Alright, let's go see what Miss Tenero has to say for herself. Here we go. March 12th, 2:23 p.m. Flight I-390, first floor, flight attendant's room. Look, there's another one of them ugly suitcases here.
So, you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that?
Miss Tenero,
Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too?
can you please help us shed some light on why you did what you did?
All right.
What is all this junk inside these boxes? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
That's our lost and found, Mr. Edgeworth.
Go Gold crowns and swords and necklaces. It's like a treasure trove in here, sir. The fact that these were left on the plane implies they were carried onto it to begin with. Something tells me it's time for iFi to send its metal detectors out for repairs. That's fair. Oh gosh, why is there a little tiny buggle in here? You get away from me! How did that get in here? I hope that's not a mosquito. I don't know, it's a tiny buggle. It's just flying around being a jerk. Let me talk to the officer! There we go. This door leads to the cargo hold. But I can't let you through without Miss Von Karma's express permission. It's not a bad way to handle the situation if it was any old case, but this isn't. So, between you and Miss Von Karma, who's better at their job? No, there's no comparison to be made, Detective. None. But he still won't say the answer. It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking at it. I'm almost certain that the well-kept one up top belongs to Miss Tenero. You know, the bottom one's a giant mess. You sloth and squalid scoundrel of a man! You dare to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy? How? There's some things in life better kept to yourself, Detective. How does she... Oh, they both have the phone here. But her phone's off the hook. And then he gets yelled at. Let's talk to Francesca.
Well, go on. Let's hear our troublesome attendant out.
In due time, I do have one thing I'd like to ask you.
Yes?
Do you plan to continue using that whip for the foreseeable future? That was a yes.
Of course. I've wrangled many a testimony out of people thanks to it.
Yeah, and probably a whole ton of yelps. Ow! And I'm willing to bet that the majority of them came from you, Detective. What exactly is this panel for?
Ah, that's the emergency control panel for the elevator. We used it to stop the elevator on the first floor and to keep its doors open.
Why is that a way to go? These are the attendants' lockers, huh? Let's hurry up and examine them, sir.
Why these men always be so rude? Besides, who exactly gave you permission to search through the attendants' lockers?
Wait, Detective. It'd be uncouth of us to look into a woman's locker without her permission. Yeah, I guess so. Plus I feel this murderous draft and I can sense a whip not far behind. It's one of those suitcases designed by Miss Tenero. You can tell it's hardly ever been used by the lack of even a single scratch on it. What if I try to go this way? Oh, that's the exit. Okay. I see. Okay, now we can talk to her. Captain's permission. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that?
Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission.
What do you mean?
The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Meal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends.
In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges.
Really? You were able to prove that you're innocent? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenero, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well,
Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve. In-flight shop. Tell me more.
All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell.
Miss Tenero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. What thing do we want to ask her about? Refueling. Cargo transfer. I don't know. Is that the suitcase? If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tornado.
Oh, that suitcase.
Yes, about the suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it?
There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there?
Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase?
Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know, and I was glad to see that it was the last one there.
Last one? But there were two there. Last one there. Tell me more about that. So you're saying, Miss Tornado, that the suitcase in question was the last one?
Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves.
That's not exactly the impression I got.
The one in the shop is most definitely the last one.
Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase.
Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one.
I didn't say anything about buying it.
Then say you'll buy it.
I'm sorry, I can't.
But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional.
Well, that is... how should I put this? It's hideous.
What?
Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining.
Remaining?
There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it.
2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only one. Looks like his story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only one suitcase left.
Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tornado, what is one of those suitcases doing here?
That's...
Thought you said there was only one left.
That one is, it's mine. I used it for a very long time now.
She's used it for a long time? I think not. Miss Tornado, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me.
Excuse me?
I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss Tornado says? The price tag's still on it. For one.
Take that!
Tell me, Miss Tornado, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase?
What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about the suitcase?
Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Miss Tornado, I think I understand. I know what you are trying to hide. Now then, the suitcase was originally in... This suitcase was originally in the flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still in the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought the suitcase was... It was you! You bought it yourself!
Take that!
You're trying to get people to buy it. It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tornado? I hate to say this, but the suitcase that you designed hasn't sold very well, has it? saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right?
The reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something.
But the suitcase didn't sell.
It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous.
Can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either.
We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked.
You buy one every single time you work a flight? That's a lot of money!
I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase.
This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m.
Ah, so it is. Register number 1. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight.
Miss Tenero, where are these other suitcases?
They should all be down in the cargo hold. Since the suitcase the killer used...
Could very well have come from the cargo hold.
Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to...
Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body.
Ah! How could they? The suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be.
Miss Tenero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator?
The only other way is through that door over there.
And what about the security?
That door has no special lock installed because, just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to.
Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects.
I can't believe it.
Yes, Francisca.
Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Common name.
And what do you mean by that?
The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells you the whole story.
Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card.
Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rolls the elevator from the cargo hold, correct?
Yes, that's the only realistic possibility.
That other attendant, Miss Meal. I asked her earlier and she said had this to say.
Francisca got information out of Miss Meal.
In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required.
A different one?
Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah!
What? Is this true, Miss Tenero?
Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times.
Would you please show us that card right now?
Yes, hold on. Ah, I don't believe it.
What's wrong?
The key card, it's gone. Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this one through. Wait, it's not like that. Tell us about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman.
Yes, sir! Sorry, yes, ma'am!
Mr. Edgeworth. What's wrong? Says disbelief written all over your face.
Francisca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However...
Halt it! Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know knows her rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth?
Go with you. I intend to do likewise. This is on mobile or emulator? It is on emulator. By the way, welcome, Wackfrost. I hope you're having a good time. I use BlueStacks, so I do own the game because I bought it. But I'm playing through BlueStacks so I can stream it. But I did pay for the game, so. Alright, March 12th, 2:52 p.m., Flight I-390, lower deck cargo hold. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? Gumshoe, where are you going? Just running off. It's so big! No shit. Like a kid in a candy store. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. I'll say I've never seen a first class that is 2 stories, with a lounge with a lot of glass bottles, and free for all drinking. That is extremely luxurious.
So, this is the real scene of the murder?
There's certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Lower deck cargo hold, begin investigation. Should we talk to Gumshoe first? Maybe. Oh, let's talk to Francesca, actually. Francesca? You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yeah, what were you doing?
Yes, I was.
Why at this airport? What are you doing?
I've been following a very large and involved government-level international crime.
Does this have to do with the Yatagarasu?
But it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol.
Francesca came to this airport as an Interpol liaison. Interesting. Interpol's involved?
It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have.
Okay. Hold on, we haven't shown her our badge yet, and we gotta do the thing. Show it to everybody.
There's something much more urgent we should be dealing with right now. Don't waste my time, or yours.
Okay. Alright, we did the thing. Alright, let's talk to this guy. No? Can I talk to you? Navigating is hard with point and click, I gotta say. That's the downfall of not actually doing this on a different device. Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir! I haven't noticed a thing! Not sure that he meant to sound so oblivious. Fair. Oh, I just love pushing the buttons on the elevators and crosswalk signals. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator's currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. Can't move. Oh, yeah. I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Gumshoe! Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special key card. Both the door to the attendance room and the elevator's control panels require a key card, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Then how did the victim get down here? That's kind of weird, right? All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one, it says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Interesting. Oh, get around him. Hey, what's with this suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So, the suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, file? There's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. What? Looks like a profile on Francesca. Is he an Interpol agent? Why did Mr. Hicks have a document on Francesca in his person? Because he's probably Interpol. Ooh. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Hey, look what's missing! All these suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth! It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair! These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy! Oh, and why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. Think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200? I think I'll pass. And Miss Tornado wonders why they don't sell. We'll need 2 jobs just to buy one. Definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments. Where are these glass shards from? Oh, it's from his glasses. We found it! Perfect. Bed sheets? What? Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing for the cargo crew. This sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir! By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. Nah, no thanks. No matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Good job, Edgeworth. Okay, let's do some logic magic. First of all, broken glass. And glass shards. Connect. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that these shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses' lenses. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? How was it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Oh yeah, we do need to look for that. So was he Interpol? Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Francisca? How? I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Francisca said that she had come to this airport as a part of an Interpol investigation. How? Maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Francisca has some explaining to do. Yeah, let's go talk to her. Francisca? Truth behind Hicks. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you?
Nonsense! What are you talking about?
I found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. Supposedly, it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct?
I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. But it looks like they got him doomed first.
So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then?
Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring.
Oh! Oh, smuggling ring. They probably caught on to him and killed him. What if it was Cammy? Because she's the only other person. She could easily access all of Rhoda's things.
He went undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is, Leblanc a smuggler, too? Yeah, it's probably the LeBlanc guy and then that other flight attendant, Cammy Meal. Because they speak the same language.
I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead.
I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. How? I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. How?
Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation?
No, unfortunately I was going to find out from him after he landed.
I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Oh, sorry. That must have been Francisca who said that. My bad. Yes, and then he was murdered here. His glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator, but while they were writing it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open, and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Investigation complete!
I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage.
What? Really, sir?
I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero.
Oh, battle of wits! Definitive evidence.
If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such a high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but she kind of kept the keycard in a not very secure place, so anybody could have grabbed it. I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. Rebuttal, definitive evidence. As a crew member, any of them could have shown Hicks to the cargo hold.
Hold it!
That might be true, but then it could be anyone including Miss Meal or even the captain.
Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand. Much like Scruffy over there.
Yay! Can't disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well, and what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal?
I thought you might ask about her.
Keycard.
Hold it!
Keycard's a sticking point. But it's highly likely the keycard was stolen from Miss Tenero.
Objection!
It's highly likely. Is that possibility is the best you could come up with? But you call yourself a disciple of my father.
Oh, that's twice he got whipped. Yes, well, I don't have any evidence.
Be quiet! You're a disgrace! There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycards that gives her away.
You're talking about the murder weapon? The Mr. Eyefly piggy bank?
Yes, she is also the only person with a key to open that display case.
Matter the key to the display case.
Hold it!
But that is a fake.
Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth! You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon, and where did it go? Spiritualist, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed.
There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? Crime scene, piggy bank, or the body? I mean, shouldn't we look at the body and the... Well, it looks like they got hit there. The crime scene's awfully clean. Crime scene? I think we should examine the crime scene in more detail. We might turn up the murder weapon if we search all the cargo and luggage.
Did you think I hadn't thought of that? Even now we're searching through them. But we haven't found anything even closer resembles a murder weapon.
Alright then. Suppose we should examine something else. What should be examined further? I mean, we already looked at the piggy bank. It's such a small... The body, I guess? But they're already looking at the body. Let's look at the piggy bank. We should examine the bank itself once more to determine if it's the real murder weapon. If this is the real weapon, it should be damaged or perhaps have a dent on it somewhere. We've looked into that already, and there's no sign of anything on it. But we can't discount it as a murder weapon on that one fact alone. The piggy bank is, after all, made of a stronger materials than human flesh. Ugh. It is the body. I thought that was too obvious. Damn it. I tricked myself. Alright, we'll look at the body. Francesca, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions.
Oh, was I?
Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see? The wound on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with the murder weapon.
Scruffy!
Yes, sir!
Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy.
Yes, sir! We're just gonna wait here for the results. We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they already know this one thing for sure.
Put. Now.
Doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from a shoulder... One giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Holy shit. That's huge. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back. He was beaten over such a wide area. That's huge. Well, I'd say maybe it's just a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Damn.
Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean?
Well, that's, Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with a murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir.
You're completely useless!
Ow! Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there! No, you will move yourself my way! What is all that racket? My luggage! My cargo! They're mine, and I demand you return them to me! We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. Suppose there's no choice. Finally, I think you gave... Hey, what are you? You have left me no choice but to use strong force! Ah! You won't get past me! This is... Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Matter the key to the display case that held the murder's bank. Same proof that this isn't the real murder weapon.
After all, you know that we searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. Nobody could find anything that could be considered the real weapon in the hold.
And then he falls down and bruises himself. Doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Yeah, he fell. Weapon couldn't be found. Smuggling. Extensive bruising. Is this what I'm supposed to do? I'm really bad at this. The weapon can't be found. Some way to prove this isn't the real murder weapon. Well, it doesn't match that. There's some way for me to prove this isn't the real murder weapon. It doesn't match the bruising, right? Or... Okay, let's see what this does first. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there's an extensive bruising over such a wide area. Is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. A sizable weapon, the unusually large area of the bruising suggests that a very large weapon was used. Okay, more logic. Agent Hicks was on the trail of an international smuggling ring. I mean, I guess it's these two. I couldn't find it because we're looking for something too small. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was all that about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Francisca. What do you want? Found it, Francisca. Found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped! We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check on him, sirs.
Still that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit.
This coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across.
Anyway, if you really are prosecutors, then you'll back yourself up with evidence.
You two aren't listening at all, are you? Poor Gumshoe. He's trying so hard to save that man.
Come on, then. Show me this real murder weapon you speak of.
Show evidence, don't have evidence. I don't have the evidence in my thing because it's, like, right there. It's like all those big statues. Oh, like that. Something like that, right? I don't think we have evidence to show, right? Because it's, like, right there. It's so big. It's in the cargo. Alright, let's try it. I don't have any evidence to show you.
Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool, from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show?
Perhaps I should have phrased it as, that which caused Agent Hicks' death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what was the real cause of death. Free fall. The victim fell from a great height, and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. Ooh. He
fell to his death?
Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. And the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death.
But the murder happened inside this plane.
No.
Are you claiming that there's some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from?
As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time.
You can't mean...
Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold. What? Then, we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Because that guy just fell. Hey, you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal! Quiet! Why are you screaming? He's fine. He's alive! He's fine. He's fine.
And so you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell off so railing to his death. That man is living proof of that.
Suppose it's true. That's not possible, given the current circumstances. Oh, did somebody move the thing? Oh, that's probably where all the blood is!
The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean?
Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Borginian pancake for sure, sir!
Suppose that the man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there. So there's no point in entertaining your wild, hypothetical scenarios.
It may be there now, but there's no way to prove that it was always there.
Ha! As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there.
When we stopped in oh wait, hold on. No, he was alive when we made that pit stop.
No, Jing Fa?
Yeah. Huh, but there was.
What?
What can I use to show her that it's possible the box was not always where it is now? Because we made a pit stop, though. It was the refueling. But then he was still alive at 5 o'clock.
Take that!
Let's see.
Refueled into the Republic of Zhengfa?
Yes, this flight had a short layover in Jingfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labeled Jingfa Express! Oh, hey, it is! Look at that. Correct, meaning it was loaded into the plane in Jingfa. Cargo from Jingfa data jotted down in my organizer. Now then, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? If what it means is a box. It's not here in the cargo hold during the Yop to Jingfa leg of the flight. Making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible.
Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched.
Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Begin investigation! Here we go again. Let's talk to her. If I may have a word with you, Francisca.
I don't think you have the time for idle chatter. You still need to prove to me that your hypothetical situation is in fact reality.
Okay. Look at the cargo. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. And it sure brings back memories of when I worked a part-time movement. No, we had this conversation. Yeah, we're not asking about your story. How do we look more closely at this cargo, though? Nope, that's the same convo. Here? Do we want to go here? Hold on. Movement is hard. Much harder in this game. No? How do we look at it more? Do we talk to the officer? Oh, maybe we go upstairs. If you spot anything off, you come and tell me right away, pal. Okay, pal? Roger, sir. It's rather unusual for Gumshoe to be so directing. He must outrank this officer. Very true. Watch out, Detective Gumshoe. Oh. Ow! Scuffy, I think your ego is in need of some deflating. I thought I clicked on that twice because you repeated the same thing. I was following in your footsteps, sir. I want to try patronizing my subordinates. Cruel and unforgiving of the detective, even in front of his own subordinate. Oh, maybe I need to go upstairs. That would make sense. So, how's it going, fellas? Oh god! More moon runes! You can rant at me in Virginian all you want, but no still means no, sir. What? You cheap man! You're only waiting for me to give you money, yes? This guy's really pushy. Wonder if he really makes any sales this way. As long as I never have to face him in court, he can be as pushy as he wants. Oh, logic? Do I have to logic this? Smuggling? Nope. How do I... All sorts of boxes, flammable, pharmaceuticals, for exorcism use only. It says to look more at the stuff, but how do I look more at the stuff? Leftover suitcases, pretty neat rows. Too bad for Miss Tenero, but this design is so marketable. I'd buy one if it was cheaper, sir. Do you think they'd sell it to me at discount? Oh, or, well, they sell them in the airport and have a bargain basement sale. Buy one, get one free! If you win the raffle, you get one more for free. How about those ideas, sir? I think if they did that, everyone would lose. Yep, that's fair. She said to look more at the, things, but I can't look at it. This is a rather large piece of cargo. Oh, there we go, finally! There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Holly Fred statue? Never heard of it. Nor I, but all I care about is if we can't prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Well, let's get investigating, sir. Moon runes! Oh, here he comes. Look here! Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission! Ha! Don't rush up on me like that, pal! So this belongs to Mr. Leblanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Hello? Leblanc's cargo. Take it, this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. Leblanc. Of course it is mine! I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe! This Alifred statue is worth 10 million cents! No, maybe much, much more! Mr. Leblanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodle that makes, detective. Darn, how'd you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year! Now I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun. I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. That's mean. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. Leblanc, there's a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. Mr. Leblanc claims to have bought a piece of art from Europe, but probably smuggling ring. Alright, let's logic. Probably smuggling. If Mr. Leblanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board when Zhang Fa. I think I need to question him a bit further. We're conveniently right here. Fake statue! About your statue, Mr. Leblanc. I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't you say such fantastical things! Those seas would not dare! I have the certification of my cargo right here! To whom means the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc Leblanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show to us at once. iFly Airlines Airway Bill. Company exists. What does it say? It says as plain as day, the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe! I don't think Zhang Fa's Europe.
And so you have it, Mouse Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certification.
No, that's...
Which means that there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there.
Ali Fred certificate data jotted down in your organizer. Respectfully disagree. I can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself. Huh, then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right. Did they do a switcheroo and take the statue? When we stopped in Zhang Fa, so they took the real one and gave him a faker? I know I've seen this somewhere before. Oh, it's in the photo! This is the Ali Fred. It's clearly not red. Gives off such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. The statue has a high amount of historical value. After it was unveiled at the museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. Ali Fred statue jotted down in my organizer, but it's not red. Right? I believe a closer look is warranted here. Hold on. Or nope, it's the color of the eyes are not red. It's got yellow eyes when it's supposed to have red eyes. Ooh, I'm onto you. So this is the infamous Ali Fred statue. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Eyeballs. These eyes made of some sort of gem. That's a real nice shade of orange. For a sec, I couldn't even tell they were jewels. Ah, but they kind of remind me of the eyes of the stray cat that lives near my house. Are the eyes supposed to be this color? It's possible this statue is a fake. No shit. So this is the Ollie Fred statue. I swear I've seen this somewhere before. No wonder this thing is worth 10 million cents. Look at how it sparkles, sir. I wouldn't call it sparkling. I'm sparkling. Detective. Maybe more along the lines of dully shining. Is that all we gotta say about this? Yep, that's all we gotta say. Okay. So we're gonna dispute the eyes, because the eyes are the wrong color. Deduce. Is this spot somehow connected in the evidence I hold? Yes, indeed it is. Here's the photo.
Eureka!
Eureka! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm really talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in the field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah, sir, they're red! No shit, because it's olive red, you know. As I thought, the statue is a fake. Mr. Leblanc. What do you want? Do you not know I am a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The olive red, I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess the statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. I don't grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is gonna be a long story. Mr. Leblanc, I regret to inform you, you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why the sudden yelling? Now then. Oh. It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. Now do you see, Mr. Leblanc? The statue before us is a fake. A fake?! He's so upset. I believe that even further examination will be required, now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Jiangfa. I will present to you the evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. That, because it's on top of this thing. Deduce. The spots somehow connected to any of the following. Oh, wait, hold on, sorry. Back. I think I need to examine this first. What's this? The statue looks like it's stepping all over its neighbor's cloth cover. Kinda resembles its owner's attitude in a sense. You! What did you say now? Further, my clothing's hem is not being stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen. Please forgive the trespass of my subordinate. Why should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress. You keep it. So... not the autopsy report, probably... It was loaded on board during the refueling between 4 to 5 a.m. Yeah, that's the one, that's the one, that's what we're gonna use to deduce. Alright, deduce. It is related to this one. Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? Just a simple case of cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. That's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue's on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo is brought on board in Jiangfa, there's no way that any part of it should wind up underneath something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Jiangfa. But then, what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why. To secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. Wait, hold on, I got it. So he pushed the button at 5 o'clock. And that's when Cammy went down to meet him. And that's when he was like, yo, I'm an Interpol agent. I gotta go check out your cargo hold. So she took him down here. And then they were probably still doing their loading, unloading thing. And she like, bam, pushes him off and he dies. There's only one reason why. To secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight.
So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. He could have just as easily inspected all the cargo as the plane landed.
And that may be true, however. You have it backwards, Francisca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. Would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner. He would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there's someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Ollie Fred certificate data updated. Investigation complete! Nice. Very good. Guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? That's why he took the photo! Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, he's got like the angriest face ever. It was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board.
Photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhang Fa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler.
Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhang Fa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death.
Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath, now!
Swan Karma, I'm ready to report my findings.
Go on.
After moving the Ali Fred statue out of the way, we tested the area underneath with luminol, and there was a reaction.
Ooh! See, there was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood on that spot.
Can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all.
Suppose it would appear that way.
The culprit cleaned the blood up well.
How do you think the killer did that?
How did the killer clean up all the blood? With a cloth? A Virginian cloth?
Take that!
The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess.
I see. They had the need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhang Fa.
Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during a layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhang Fa? There's no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. If that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zhang Fa, then this becomes highly suspect. Isn't it Miss Melee's? Because hers was... Yeah, he was back in his seat when we took off at 5 a.m. Call Miss Melee's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zhang Fa.
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but... That totally contradicts the facts, sir!
But why would she lie about something like that?
I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. Sorry, I said Melee, but her name's Meal because it's like Cammy Meal. Haha, pun. To be continued! Okay, I think... Well, first we're gonna save. So we're gonna save, and then I think this is gonna be a good stopping point, because I gotta get off by 10, since I'm expecting something. So, the plan is, we will continue this next week. You know, earlier if I feel like playing earlier than that, but probably next week. On same time-ish, as this is our normal time for this. And then we'll finish this case then. This is pretty good. I love that Francesca is back because she is great with her whip and Scruffy. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I hope you had fun. Let me see if any of my friends are streaming right now. No, none of my friends. Let me see. Is anybody... Nope. Okay. All right. None of my friends are on, so I think we're just going to call it here. And then we'll pick it up next week. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. If you want to see more and you're not already following, please do, feel free to give us a follow so that you can see when we go live for this next time. Other than that, hope you all have a great rest of your weekend and rest of your day or night, depending on wherever you are in the world. And I'll catch you all later. Have a good day and bye. See you next time.